of civilian democracy. We haven't gotten that back on track. And of course, a tighter fiscal and monetary cooperation between the central bank and the rest of the president's team. What do we have this week? It's going to be very interesting tomorrow. The August debt offering of the Naira papers by the Debt Management Office will be on tomorrow. These are the three papers that are being reopened tomorrow. The FGN July 2021 midterm paper is a reopening. That 5-year notes will be reopened at 14.50%. The amount is a 35 billion naira. That the auction will go flag on tomorrow. We expect the result on Thursday. The second paper is the FGN March 2027, another midterm paper reopening, 10-year paper at 16.2884%. That has a value of 50 billion. Of the same amount as the third one, the 2037 long-dated paper, April 2037, maturing reopening of that paper, 16.2499%. That's what the DMO will be offering, that paper, 50 billion naira to the market. If you, a very simple math there gives you 135 billion naira is what the Nigerian government looks to raise as loans from the domestic market tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd of August. We'll see the result on Thursday. And let's go on to the market review yesterday, and we'll start with the FX market. Of course, the Naira had a bit of a flat trading day, a bit of a zigzag, not so comfortable. The CBN window, reference window, 305.70 when the market finished off on Monday as the central bank rolled out about 190 billion naira as the first millionaire, beg your pardon. 190 billion? That's head shaking. Actually, it's 190 million. Sorry, apologies for that. 190 million dollars was what the central bank sold on Monday to start the week. Last week, the regulator sold something around 464 million US dollars in 5 days. This week is starting off with 190 million US dollars. On that same day, which was yesterday, the interbank FX market, Naira gained 0.5% on the dollar at 360.25. And if you go on the street, the Naira was flat on the dollar at 370. Then at the FMDQ investors and exporters window, it was a flat and lackluster Monday, 360 exchange rates. And then, so because of that yesterday, you're going to see when the central bank conducts FX auctions for which all the authorized dealers would have to pay the Naira cover for the dollars they're going to get from the central bank, we find a bit of a lackluster fixed income market, in particular the bond market. But give us a minute, we'll get to that. So let's step into the stock market. We lost about 1% yesterday to start the trading week. And I don't think anyone should attribute this to the return of the president. The social media is a bit of that. Well, why did the stock market have to decline? Because the president is back. It has nothing to do with the absence or the return of President Buhari. The market is just moving on its own trajectory. Again, we expect where this is coming. There's a little bit of a profit booking. Because if you want to understand the market, go to the second page and you see the volume and value of what was traded yesterday, and you see that a lot of trading activities, a lot of sentiments are still positive on the local market. $17.42 million was the dollar value of what you see there in Naira. 4.22 billion Naira yesterday. In terms of deals, we're not significantly lower than our daily average of about 4,000 transactions. Then you find, hold on a second, I think we have a bit of a problem with our numbers, the figures we're showing you there. My apologies, we've got to take that away. That's not reflective, I guess this came from somewhere. Okay, that is very correct. The banking sector did about 1% in the green yesterday. Consumer goods were 0.75% also in the green. Those two sectors moderated the massive decline we saw in industrial goods because of the sell-off on Dangote cement on Monday. That's where you have find industrial goods a massive haircut, 2.25%. Insurance lost about 1%. The oil and gas down 0.06%. It was a bit of a lackluster day for the big seven listed on our market. Now, when you look at the flip side of this big stock exchange market, you look at the NASD, over-the-counter market, where you have the unlisted securities. Those folks took a bit of a very divergent sentiments yesterday. So we saw a major comeback, a massive comeback on Monday after a lackluster Friday last week for the NASD market, 1.81% gain on the USI index reading 608.02, and the market cap back to 411 billion naira. In terms of transactions, it was also quite healthy. 1.05 million unlisted securities were traded on a single day, Monday the 21st, on this small market, about 3 years old, a value of about 7.68 million in 17 transactions. So that's quite a bullish day on the NASD market, but a negative, bearish Monday on at the stock exchange. Okay, so let's go to the treasury bills and the bond markets. This is via the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange. Let's start with the bond markets. Well, a bit of a tepid day. Of course, everyone is trying to get ready for tomorrow's debt auction by the DMO. So the second window was a little bit lackluster. 14 transactions in the FGN bonds maturing 18th of April 2037. That's a long-dated paper at that price high. Then you find the rest of the four most actively traded papers, midterm, most of them. One of them is short-term, 2021, 15 July, at the bottom of that page. In total, that's about 5 billion naira for the day, including other traded papers that were not on that list. Then you find the treasury bills, which you can now see the discount highs, a bit of a trajectory of where the average yield curve really is on treasury bills. And you see the massive 250 transactions in the treasury bills maturing the 12th of October 2017. That's quite a very decent figure, 135.87 via the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange window. And we have a lot to talk about the world of commodities when we return. What are the good news? And we have some bad news as well in the commodities market. How do all of this come together to give you a sense of what the market price of goods and services really are? We're looking at that with the folks from FTC, Financial Derivatives Company, when we return in about 2 minutes. Stick around.